I'm Henry Gray, and I have been lucky enough to be involved in the Sycamore Land Trust before there was a Sycamore Land Trust. I don't know the date, but it was obviously before Sycamore was formed. Tom Zeller asked about a dozen people to join a meeting. The purpose to decide that we wanted to establish a land trust in Monroe County. Our model was the Central Indiana Land Trust, SILTI, which was already operating in the Annapolis area. Well, we quickly decided that we wanted to move in that direction, and two of our members volunteered to get together the necessary legal papers to establish the land trust. And a few weeks or maybe a couple of months after that, the papers were ready, and the signatories, the charter members of Sycamore signed. I don't know if I'm on that list. I don't remember the event, but I do know that before long I joined the what did we call ourselves? Anyway, with the 6 or 8 people who met regularly and discussed where Sycamore Land Trust was going. And I, along with Ed Schools and Hank Huffman, we became the acquisitions committee. We evaluated a number of properties that were of interest. And I'm happy to say that I see that some of those properties have indeed made it onto the list of Sycamore's preserves. But I wonder if anybody remembers the first property that Sycamore actually acquired. It was a little sliver of property along what was then the Illinois Central Railroad. It belonged to a developer who found it was undevelopable. So to get a little tax benefit, he gave it to Sycamore. We went out and looked at it. It wasn't much, a bunch of weeds and brush and some saplings. And I don't think we did much with it, so I don't know what shape it's in now. I haven't seen it for many years. I just hope it's not spreading some noxious weed among the neighborhood. But in looking at the properties that Sycamore has acquired, I like to think of some of them as being landmarks. What will I say, a little more than average properties that Sycamore has acquired. One of them is the nucleus of what's become Bean Blossom Bottoms. That was a spot that had been ditched and drained many years ago and plowed. It was unsatisfactory. It was allowed to grow up a wetland forest, which was doing pretty nicely when Sycamore acquired it. And it's now had that was in 1995, so it's now had 25 more years to grow a very nice wetland forest. Another one that I consider a landmark is, I believe, the first property we acquired outside of Monroe County. It was brought to us by neighbors of the property who did not want to see it being developed. It was an area that had been partly in row crops and partly in pasture, and needed some TLC, which Sycamore has given it. that's touched the earth. As I say, I think our first property outside of Monroe County is in Bartholomew County, and it's regularly used by the schools of Bartholomew County and the Sycamore's educational function. Another one that, gosh, I should have looked up. What's the name of the big one down south? Columbia Vine Preserve, is that it? Which is a landmark because it's so big, it's 1,000 acres or so. Now, it too needs a lot of TLC, and I don't know exactly what Sycamore is going to do with it. I know that it's to be managed partly in conjunction with the Patoka River Wildlife Refuge. But the Patoka River Wildlife Refuge is another wetland forest that was once ditched and drained and plowed. And so it's different from the area in the Columbia Vine Preserves, which had been strip mined. And so the soil and the strata are turned upside down. And what we must do there, and I'm not sure what we are doing, is to rebuild the soil and grow a native forest. Well, I think that's enough from me. I will say at this point that I'm astounded at the growth of Sycamore's membership, as well as the growth of our property holdings. And beyond that, I want to say that our staff is beyond astounding. They're downright miraculous in about work to get done. And I think there's a point for me to sign off. Thank you, Eva.